Welcome back to the show. That's the one and only Micpt.com podcast. Yes, indeed, with the one and only Bone. How are you today?
I'm good.
That's great. That's great. Now, I know I was very particular. I said I wanted to start this show with talking about what you were sharing on another show about the youth and how they need to stick to their dreams and definitely, use that creativity, because when they're young, they envelop all of those goals and visions and so forth, and when they stick to them, that's when things actually work out to their betterment. So to keep going with that, is there something else that you want to add to that?
Yeah, just take advantage of the moments when you're not really under pressure. You can come with a good idea that's going to be balanced. That's going to help the community, and it's going to help you financially.
Nice. Oh, wow. Now you bring up the community. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, yes, you have so much support, and absolutely, and it's just really neat. It's just like, yeah, absolutely. We know, and I think, and they know too, because like, say for instance, there was this one day, there was somebody that's from the community. I mean, literally grew up in elementary school, the whole nine. And it was really neat that when the hood tour came in, they said, oh, take care of the hood tour. And, I'm here. I live around the corner. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So when you have that kind of support too, not only is somebody that's from the community spending their money, but at the same time, they actually, take a step back for other people that's not from the community to actually, get service in the store before them. I mean, what is that consideration feel like to you too?
Oh man, it's a beautiful thing, because usually people patience run thin. And for a customer to put another customer in front of them because they know they might have less time, that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, absolutely.
That's how you don't miss nothing.
Amen. Right. I thought that was like, oh man, I was like they say, jaw dropping. I was like, wow, I've never even experienced that or seen that or thought of that or had that perspective even in my mind. Absolutely. Because, we've all been to so many different stores. Absolutely. So with that in mind, the one child that, well, it was two. They were from a different country, and they were brother and sister. And I'm not sure if they picked up on that, but if they did, that had to be something that's going to be memorable for them too, if they go into business. Definitely, because the parents really raved over it too. Like, oh wow, thank you so much, and and everything type of thing. So that's pretty cool. Now, what about the people that grew up in Compton and then they moved to a different state, either for work, either for family, or they wanted to create something new, because like some of the things that they do, or many people do, is saturated, and they say sometimes it takes going into the different community with this something that's really saturated from where you come from for you to flourish. So what is that like when they come back to the store? When they say, when I came back home, it's a time frame. I gotta visit my family here and there and everything like that. So, but I always come to the Made in Compton store. It's just a given. So it's just like, I don't even know what happened to this hat, and let me get another one of them, because I haven't seen that one. And then I might go home and find it again, but I want to make sure I get it before I get back on the plane. But although I'll be back in another couple months, all these different type of conversations. What's that like when you hear that?
Oh man, let me know how personal it is to them.
Personal, that's the word. Right. That's what it is. It is something personal when you, is it just like, imagine, I'm still stuck on the youth, but I know when it's something about when a child receives a gift, they don't want to lose it. when it's one that's like somebody that they really look up to gives it to them, they don't want nothing, they don't want to share it and all that type of thing. So it seems that same way with the adults when they're not able to find something that they had, or they were just gracious enough to give it to somebody and they hadn't had time to replace it, and now they're just so elated to get that back. That's a good word. Personal. It's personal to them. Wow. Yes, indeed. So now when you are just thinking about how many times, like some people, they buy the same hat over and over again because they want it fresh. They just want their new one. What's that like? You know what I'm saying?
That's what keep the lights on. That's a repeated customer.
Ooh. I said, what? This one guy told me, I buy this hat over and over again. I was like, okay, I was really wrapping that around in my mind, like, why would he buy the same hat? And I must have said something to that nature, and that's when I learned, he just wanted to keep his hats fresh. Absolutely. So I think that's pretty neat. Now, I had a peculiar situation. I was like, The young lady said, can I have the blouse underneath? Well, she said t-shirt. It was the V-neck. But she said t-shirt under the top t-shirt. I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And then she was like, because I don't want to have to iron it. I was like, oh, okay. But we know that, mostly, with t-shirts, they'll just fall out with the wrinkles, if it's a wrinkle, whatever, it'll fall out. And I thought that was pretty neat. And I was like, I wonder if you have ever considered, have a cleaners. Since you do, concept to production and sustainability and, the one house, one stop, shop situation and everything.
Man, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because I'm like, boy, that would be something.
So we not only make it, we maintain it.
Yes. Yeah.
Help you maintain it.
So, absolutely. And then, that's another thing that reminds me. What is that like when you have people that want or ask you to have a business in different locations?
It's nice, but got to do the logistics. Got to do the math. The math got to work because we got to be able to open and stay open.
Absolutely. And I tell you, from the front end, and that from the years of experience, because I know they talk about seasons, the different seasons of a store. So you have your different seasons. Like somebody was just sharing just today, matter of fact. Oh yeah, there's going to be a surplus of t-shirts, and I was like, well, did he hear about? Did he hear the show when we was talking about the small t-shirts are going on sale for $15 on April 15th? It's a one-day sale for this event, and then but he was just speaking to the fact that I had this one jacket that have like holes in it. It's pretty neat. It's the one with the black and white around the collar and on the sleeves and the waist. And he was like, that's gonna sell. You just watch and see when this rain go away. And it wasn't even really raining, but it was just it wasn't even raining, but because we've been in a little rainy season. But he was like, yeah, that one gonna fly off the shelf. And I was like, it's only a handful left already. They've been buying it. You just don't know. Men and women. I was like, but I thought that was pretty neat that, it's like this foresight. And so you have these people that, they actually are gauging, like they work for the store too. You know what I mean? Like that one's going to sell. Like, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. What do you think about that when they start having these business conversations with you like that?
Oh, man. It's a good thing. I told them they in the frame of mind to run in the store.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Future forecast.
Right. I thought that was really neat. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember one person told me, you need to get a brighter t-shirt And you know, if you were sharing the, because I was doing a podcast. No, I wasn't doing a podcast. I'm sorry, I was doing a Facebook Live, and he was like, "You should do a brighter color the next time." So he's just observing from a couple of cars down and everything, and he was like, "Yeah, I think you should do brighter." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" Like they be really involved.
Yeah, if they see us slacking.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really neat. Yeah, so that's really cool. So I tell you, it's always a joy to do the podcast. And I think this is a really unique thing, because how many other stores are actually doing a podcast with their employees? I think this is very unique. So not only Made in Compton store is unique in its whole gambit. And when people type in and they need a t-shirt from Compton store and your store comes up first, now I think this is really neat that you're gonna have a podcast too. And can you imagine, this is that time, informational and technological world that we all live in. It's an era that we're in. And imagine all of those other, say, fast food places back in the day. If they actually did radio with the actual owner, we would have some more business jewels like you're giving us. So I just tell you, I'm very appreciative. I really think this is so cool. Amen. It's historical. I think this is just amazing what our youth needs. So, like, within these last, say, we have about 30 seconds into the show. Would you please speak to the audience? I appreciate you. Amen.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that's listening and everybody that's coming in supporting and helping keeping the lights on.
Amen and amen. Everybody, I think the one and only owner of the Made in Compton store, we call him Bone. It's almost like he's almost like that guy from the comedy show that he would come on at the last minute. He'd say one or two words and then he'd walk off stage and then the show would be over.
That's what's up.
Oh man, amen, amen.
God bless. Good night.
Yes, indeed. Good night.